everyone, welcome back to the Anything and Everything Show. I'm your main host, Depp. I'm joined by Brendan.
What's up? I'm here.
And Wyatt. And today, things take a turn back to the darker once more, so boys, you better have your copium ready because we're going to head back into more depressing news because we're talking about our cruel world this week. Which one do you left your bacon at? Wait, that's a remote. Well, so, if you couldn't tell, the following episode is going to have very sad things and it may incite very sad feelings in you. So, if you don't like being sad or depressed, we highly recommend you don't listen to this episode and wait until we finish censoring the Disney episode, which is probably going to get released before this one. So, thanks to Zach and the other idiots in the editing department, we don't speak about this. But to start, yeah, this world we live in is a very weird and cruel place these days, boys. We got people dying, loss of rights. We got a lot going on in the world, and, well, they're painting targets on the wrong people. So, does anyone have anything to say to start off? COVID.
Not really.
Alright, I'm sorry, Brendan. Monkeypox, as they say these days. It's all. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they're doing now. The disease of the world is no longer COVID. It's now monkeypox. Which disease?
I was around Zach, so might explain it.
Jeez, and he just left the studio too. So here's a bit of context. This episode was gonna have a Zach, but he left the studio. He went to go do personal stuff and finish editing a video, which he still doesn't have all the clips from some people. But
Just tell him to not even worry about mine.
I'll send him the part where he walked past me.
that's context. But anyways, so to start, as you probably guessed, since 2020 really, and late 2019, we've had a lot of disease going around the world, and it's caused a lot of hysteria, panic, and death. Have you guys had that disease with the cursed name that I'm not allowed to say besides that one joke at the beginning? And it's not the monkey one.
No.
I know for a fact, Wyatt, you've had the disease named after the beer.
Mm-hmm.
What was that experience like?
The only thing that really affected me was that I was getting hot and cold. Other than that, of course I had coughing and all, but other than that, the physical, I was just getting hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. That's it.
You're hot and you're cold, a copyright reference. Wall sits in the ass. God. We're off to...
You're the one who decided to do that one.
Yep, and I'm also head of the editing department.
But,
Making more work for you.
Yep.
but yeah, that's practically what happened.
So do you guys know anyone else who had the beer disease? We know Zach had it, but
My parents.
you got the fam.
I had the shot for it.
Mom believes that she's had it way before they even announced that. Hey, by the way,
The beer disease.
the beer disease is in America.
Yeah, early 2020 during a break, I know a guy who had every symptom they said when they released that the disease is a thing. So this guy had every symptom that they listed, and they said it's an unknown respiratory flu-like disease. I guarantee if we went back to that same doctor 2 months later and this guy was still like that, they would have said the beer disease.
Yes.
And from what I've heard, a lot of good people have supposedly died to the disease. I can't confirm or deny, but
I'm underage. It can't touch me.
just because it's named after a beer doesn't mean it can't touch you because it's not beer. But I haven't confirmed. I can't confirm or deny whether the beer disease has actually taken anyone's life. I know it's a respiratory disease. I will guarantee you it probably has, but I haven't seen anything about it.
At first when they
The food.
At first, when they first did, people say that the Texas Department of whatever disease control or whatever,
The Center for Disease Control.
yeah, said there's been that COVID beer disease was taking a crap ton of lives. About like 2 years later, they say, oh yeah, the beer disease hasn't really taken a lot. Like, it's actually, it was almost like doctors are just saying, oh yeah, their death was on the beer disease. But that's all I've heard.
You know, ever since this beer disease came out, that we can't say the name for,
Legal.
not legal,
Not legal?
more like safe for provider and advertisers. I've never had it. I've been near people who had it, as in I've literally been right outside their house of people who had it. I was visiting, I didn't know they had it at that time. And I've had so many close calls with it. I haven't had it once. I've had 4 tests over the span of 2 years. All 4 have turned negative, but yet, school's like, so back at school, it was like, oh hey, yeah, this guy's probably got the beer disease. Let's get him tested. All 4 times. Nope. And, are you sure? Because it's no. But, yeah.
Did your school shut down?
Oh yeah, we shut down.
Yeah.
Everyone shut down spring 2020. As we all know, the famous 6-month spring break.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're homeschooled, then you never heard of it. But
Eh.
But yeah, the 6-month spring break was probably the best thing.
No offense, but I get off of work faster than y'all do. I get more free time during the day than y'all.
Yeah.
But you have to work year round, don't you?
Yes, I have to work year round, but I don't have to. But I can wake up at like 8 o'clock and be done at 3. I don't, and not have to be stuck in a classroom waiting for everyone else to finish.
Well, see, we had a homeschool experience after this when the 6-month spring break started too. It's called virtual class in Zoom,
That's what is that.
or as some students would call it.
No.
Yeah, actually, the exact word I was looking for. Hell. But no, yeah, it was literally like a bad time, you know. And no, that's not a joke considering what we've been doing in the studio all weekend. But yeah, the 6-month spring break is probably the least likely thing, and then it was the next year. It's everyone wears a mask, or it's you can get out because like they had insane security measures. They had masks, they had temperature checking, they had hand sanitizing, everything. Like you even coughed funny, and it was
Just get stared at.
it's just ooh, or even better, it's like when the zombie apocalypse happens and you're patient 0. Everyone's just looking at you, and it's just. Oh no.
The one thing I like is that we're trying to come out with a vaccine with it.
Well, they have, don't you know?
Let me rephrase that. They've come out with a vaccine, a multi-part vaccine. But here's the thing. Your body creates a vaccine on its own.
It's called get exposed.
Yeah, you get exposed, it learns its DNA and all that, and then it knows, hey, I know how to defend against this.
Until 200 new variants come out.
Yeah, until new variants, but once you get exposed to it, you really are just immune to it. You don't need the damn vaccine.
Hey guys, I got a quick joke. The beer disease, when it has a new variant, new game plus. Continue with all your old save progress. Start new. But I mean, and then at that same time, the Area 51 joke was going around, and it was like, who's playing Plague Inc. at the Area 51 computer?
Oh, my favorite part of when we released after that 6-month spring break was coming back to school, coughing on purpose to make everyone move away from you.
That was actually a strategy in stores. Like in Walmart, people are shopping, it's crowded, and it's and then it's just the plague
The plague's here, run away!
They just walk away.
Yep. Because no one wants the beer disease.
Honestly, the worst part that affected me was all these stores getting, like,
Shut down.
yeah, shut down, and the toilet papers being bought out and all that. Everything being bought out.
Man.
Honestly, people overreacted.
Yeah. If there's one thing you could tell yourself back during that time, is that, like, if you right now could say anything back to you during that time, what would you say to yourself?
Just continue on how you've been buying. That's it. Don't worry about going out and stocking up, because it was more of, oh, gotta prep is the reason why we ran out of all those supplies. If you don't do that, it really was just perfectly fine. To me.
What about you, Brendan? What would you advise yourself in the past?
For me, I'd probably advise myself just not care about it at all. Because that's what I started doing, and it just hasn't affected me one bit.
I know exactly how I would do this one to myself. I would have a few words. Step one, stop speaking to that girl, because she's going to move the second the 6 month spring break starts, and you're not going to get over it for about a year. Second, stock in toilet paper and invest in crypto, especially Bitcoin, because that crap's going to over double. When you're rich,
Yeah?
you'll thank me. Because before 6 month spring break, as we call it, started, Bitcoin sat at 26K. Right now, we're looking at like 49 or something, somewhere in the 40,000s. If I invested money in crypto, I would have been rich. But I didn't know about investing, and I was also stupid and looking for love, which more of that is back in the Valentine's episode, which I'm not going to relive the nightmare. Okay.
Let's relive it.
No, I'm already reliving it. It's the season of the haunted, don't you know? That's a reference for no one who's going to understand it, by the way.
I won't.
But now we're done with the beer disease. Now it's the Harambe disease. The monkeypox.
Wait, which came first, the beer disease or that freeze? Right around the same time, both of it.
I don't know, probably. But yeah, now we've got the monkey disease, and that's memeing more than people are caring, because some people are still calling the beer disease.
You know, Brendan, you know how you said don't care about it? Right?
Yeah.
That's how I am. I've never heard of the monkey disease.
Same.
It's been a subject of memes lately.
I just don't care about it. It's disease. I'm gonna get it, and then I'm gonna develop antibodies to it.
I don't care. I live a good life.
Man, this would be that perfect time for that clip of that guy in the plague doctor suit just walking with Gangster's Paradise in the background. You know the clip. You know the clip. If I find it, I'd probably edit that in and laugh at myself.
You better.
I will. But besides that, there's not really much in the disease factor besides, well, we've lost a lot of good people lately. Remember, during the main part of the beer disease, we lost some good people, especially to other diseases like. So for the memes, for the people who know the memes, if you know the song "We Are Number One," the guy who was in that show that made that meme, we lost him during the time. We've lost a lot of people, especially lately. A few days ago, we were at home. We were about to meet at the studio, but we were at our homes. We were talking, and then a creator for the Minecraft community had died, and he was a very big influence on the community, as the developers of the game themselves paid homage to him in the game on PC.
Yes, Mr. Pig.
Yeah. He died of, I think it was leukemia stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for those of you who know, this content creator was named Technoblade. Also,
It was sorry.
yeah,
It was a cancer. He died of stage 4 cancer.
yeah, leukemia. And yeah, his real name was Alexander, but he died a while ago. Of course, only he would try and lighten the mood after he died. And close TikTok, Brendan. We're trying to talk about serious stuff.
I was trying to check news, and that popped up when I opened my phone.
Sure. Hey, we don't abuse each other. We only abuse our Zacks. Side note, no Zacks were abused in the making of this video. Zach's not even here at the making of this video.
He was abused before this video.
Yeah, pretty much. You should have seen some of this too. It's pretty rocking hard. But enough about Zach abuse. That dude's been through some weird stuff. Especially the fact that he got burned so hard that you touched him and you would have cried about it.
Yeah.
It's honestly not even that bad. Because I've had that exact burn and some even worse.
Wait till you meet a guy with a sensory processing issue, and then they have that kind of burn. That ain't fun for them. I will guarantee you that personally. Speaking of which, we also, since some sadder news, we're going to return to a topic we discussed in the Hot Topic section. So for a brief moment, boys, the hazmat suits, the Reddit comment sections, we're going to delve back into it. So, I'm not fully educated on this subject. It literally appeared last night when I was doing research preparing for the episode, but the author of the Harry Potter book series, J.K. Rowling, was speaking about some issues, which included women's sexual reproduction-based rights and stuff, and like speaking against homophobia and child grooming and all that. And well, people have no sense of decency because J.K. Rowling was trending on Twitter, so I was like, wonder what the heck's going on over there. I look at the news feed and it's one famous person speaks out about issues we have, and it's turning into what Twitter does best, people. Bully the crap out of them. Sending her threats and being abusive to the point where studios and other people who've worked with Rowling say that they stand with her and all this mess, but as someone who's read the Harry Potter books and a connoisseur of the things they produce, it doesn't sit well. I sent this to a few friends last night too, and I saw it, and it doesn't sit well with them. So people have no sense of decency. Like as a joke once said on the internet, at the rate that people are taking rights from other people that aren't the white man, it's gonna look like 1984 and guns have more rights, and this is just not the correct world to live in at this point in time. But it's a strange world we live in, a cruel one. Which, yeah. Speaking of which, so on a side note, on a topic we spoke of literally like 10 minutes ago, or not even 10 minutes, like maybe a minute and a half, how the Minecraft creator died from cancer. There's a fundraiser going on to help St. Jude's cancer research and stuff, which, if you guys have time, you should check that out, because we know some people who stream for charity, because anything to help end disease and make this a slightly less cruel world is pretty freaking cool in my opinion.
Yes.
Unless you're that one guy who just spites everyone. I think we all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of our cruel world, poor Johnny Depp can't take a break, man. I saw this thing right before we head to the studio to record this, but I heard that Amber Heard's calling for a second trial because there was a so-called fake juror in the original case that sided with Depp and believes the whole case is a fraud or something like that, just so she can avoid appealing the verdict. I saw this and I was like, man.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the news thing. I'll show you guys when we get out of here, but holy crap, is this situation annoying? Because this has been like the third episode in a row where we talked about them.
I want to do. I want to see her evidence.
I want to go to the trial.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
What?
She said that's what she said. There's a lack of evidence, so there must be a second trial. And a fake jury.
What lack of evidence?
Yeah, where's the evidence on that lack of evidence?
Exactly.
Schrodinger's evidence.
Exactly. Like we talked about last episode.
That there's a lack of evidence?
Like we talked about last episode. There was literally people that could read her sitting there, right? And read her facial expressions and all that. They could tell that she's lying. She's faking this entire thing.
My dog steps on a bee. No, what in God's name does that have to do with the relevance of this case? So was
Yeah.
anyone? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hey, so has anyone seen that news about that solar flare that's gonna go by Earth and possibly jam radio and power communication?
Yo, Primal Ages Part 2.
No, it's only temporary. I saw some news that there's like a solar flare going on at this point in time, or at least at the time of recording, that's gonna go by the Earth, but it's gonna possibly jam radio communications and knock out power for some places. And this summer heat,
Oh, that's scary.
especially down here in Texas,
Hopefully, it doesn't cause a mass good shutdown.
hopefully we don't have a repeat of snowpocalypse, except in the heat.
Well, the reason why I say that is during snowpocalypse we got lucky. If here's the thing that y'all probably don't know about the power grid, right? All power runs at 60 hertz. If it falls below, like I believe it was 52 or 51 hertz, the entire power grid trips. And I mean the entire power grid, power plants, everything gets shut down instantly by automated systems. And then it'll take months to even come back up for them to even bring the power grid back up online. It'll straight up send us into
a blackout for a few weeks.
not weeks, months.
I remember after the snowpocalypse ended, it took a while before everything went back to normal.
Yeah. Then it's only because of our current new president decided, I'm going to shut down the coal power plants and all, and leave hydro and all. Well, during snow apocalypse, what requires for those power plants to run?
Heat,
No, heat, and what else?
power.
Water. For water to work, for water,
It doesn't have to be frozen.
what does it help with water? The cold. The water kept freezing all the cooling systems on the power grids for our power plants.
Talk about chain reaction.
I didn't even know y'all were doing the snow apocalypse.
Yeah.
It literally did, like, that just shows you it took away some of our backups that could have helped at that time.
Yeah.
And I wish he revoked his decision and used it as a backup decision and not.
Man, just to reminisce for a second, man, back during Snowpocalypse, Team Unnamed was in the early phases of planning, back before I announced it to anyone and you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even in the picture at
Yeah.
all.
I was still planning, and
I knew Zach, that's about it. I didn't know these two.
yeah, but enough reminiscing. This heat is killer.
Mm-hmm.
This heat has been killing a lot of us, metaphorically speaking, because
Invisibly.
not physically. We ain't dead.
I had a heat stroke not too long ago.
Okay, yeah, the heat stroke. Yeah, this heat is horrible, especially on people who work on like places where there's no AC or water nearby just to cool off.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're not the only one. All three of us have worked in these exact conditions. You try working in an attic that's 104 degrees. Yeah, not fun. But on unfinished buildings where there's no AC and you have to like electricians or plumbers or anything on buildings that aren't ready for AC, can you imagine how bad the heat is? I mean, I know how bad it is because I've worked in one of those fields, and let me tell you, this heat is not the best thing to be stuck in.
Me and my dad actually did a pre-wire, and it was actually pretty decent below the ceiling level. And I mean below the ceiling level, as soon as you even pop your head above the ceiling level,
Crispy.
it's hotter. Like there's a physical barrier separating the two temperatures.
Talk about crispy. I can't imagine anyone who's stuck on the heat like right now as we're recording this, or as probably someone's listening.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's safe.
Yeah, hopefully. Besides all this depressing, bad stuff, I think we should end things on a lighter note today.
Okay.
It's really bright outside. It's very light. On that note,
I'd like to ask a trivia question for our viewers, may I?
Sure, why not?
I would like to see in the comments what y'all think Devin's favorite food is.
hey editor, cut that segment out.
No, I actually want to see this.
That's not a very sanctionable question.
I want to see this.
I can answer this question for you. Editor, cut that out. The editor's probably just gonna be looking at us just like. Because I'm not the only one who edits these episodes. You've got Zach and you've got some other people in my editing department. So I'm not the only one who works on. I'm just the guy who reviews the final cut and upload it. But anyways, besides this dumb question aside.
I'm not paying for your chicken now.
What if I didn't want chicken?
Yeah, you can stay here.
A little bit.
I'm not gonna bully you.
PS4.
I only bully Zach.
Yeah, we only encourage Zach abuse in this team. Side note, there's actually abuse in the making of this video. Only before, but you should just know what number he had.
Yes.
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile.
Alright.
So on one final note, if you like a bit of controversy to stir up your sadness, if anyone here plays Xbox, which I guarantee some of you may or may not, they just added a controversial game onto their service, Xbox Game Pass, a free game. It's a very controversial game because, well, how do you feel about the only realistic ending for this game is blowing up half of Montana? The game we're talking about is Far Cry 5. Don't ask me why that's a thing, but hey, it's some controversy stir up. But
why not?
yeah, we feel like ruining someone's day. Why not? It's a cool thing to do. But on that note, I just think it's finally everything we've got. On that note, this has been the Anything and Everything Show with me, your main host Dev, joined by Brendan,
Me.
and Wyatt.
Yeet.
Yeet!
Bunga bunga.